Ethan Haddon wouldn't lay a finger on Dante Kane even if he had the nerve to. Seeing him in a bind, Dante Kane smirked faintly, appearing relaxed and nonchalant.
Surrender, Ethan Haddon?
Yes, my lord, I surrender.
Ethan Haddon showed no sign of hesitation as he bowed to Dante Kane and announced his defeat. All of a sudden, the audience burst into an uproar, both in the stands and in various fields.
What? Surrender? What in God's name do you think you're doing?
This is the selection venue of the Dragon Envoy of Newland. How could you admit defeat without putting up a fight?
How about respecting the rules of the competition, huh? What about the arresting fight? What about the amazing strength? I'm here to watch you fight, for heaven's sake, not to see you wave a white D*min flag.
From the elders' stream of curses, it was obvious that they were very displeased with Ethan Haddon's choice. Even Mr. Busher frowned and reminded him.
Ethan Haddon, this is the site of the Dragon Envoy of Newland's selection. If you surrender, you'll lose your right to be the Dragon Envoy of Newland. Are you aware of the consequences?
As the leader of the Dragon Envoy of Carlton, the Dragon Envoy of Newland was an existence that was second only to the absolute power holder and revered by tens of thousands. Moreover, becoming the Dragon Envoy of Newland meant one could obtain a large number of precious cultivation resources. Only a fool would give up.
I'm sure that I'm no match for the Lord anyway.
Ethan Haddon answered and directly jumped off the fighting ring, giving up the qualification to advance to the top 3. Mr. Busher sighed. He could stop others from participating, but he couldn't stop others from giving up. In the end, he could only announce it.
As Ethan Haddon has given up on his qualification, Dante Kane will proceed to enter the final round.
There was a burst of exclamation in the audience. The next match was between Paulson Colt and the Short Man. Both of them wanted to rely on Zane Martel's good luck to obtain the Jade Token, but they did not expect that he would fall short of winning. The Short Man was no less than strong, and he had the ultimate earth power and amazing defensive power. He claimed that he could block almost all the attacks. However, it was only limited to physical attacks. The attack of Paulson Colt's willpower could almost disable his armor and defense. It was unstoppable. However, the Short Man struggled. He could not resist it. After only a dozen rounds, he was defeated. Paulson Colt naturally entered the final round.
Paulson Colt wins and enters the final round. Let's rest for half an hour. After half an hour, the final duel will officially begin.
Paulson Colt jumped down from the arena and looked at Zane Martel. His adversary was no longer Zane Martel, but Dante Kane. In his eyes, Zane Martel was no longer a match for him, and Dante Kane was whom he had to guard against. If Paulson Colt could reach such a conclusion, then so could Dante Kane. The leading elders in the stands also began to discuss who would eventually become the Dragon Envoy of Newland.
Say, who do you think will become the Dragon Envoy of Newland this time? Paulson Colt's willpower seems like it means business.
Dante Kane looks strong, but whether he could withstand Paulson Colt's willpower is another story.
I don't think so. If Dante Kane was able to dominate the strange little world, then there must be more to him than meets the eye. I'm convinced his strength has not been fully revealed yet. He will emerge as the Dragon Envoy of Newland this time. It has to be him.
Some people kept arguing over this. At this time, an outsider interrupted.
Weren't there 3 people who entered the final round? Why are you folks only talking about Paulson Colt and Dante Kane? How about Zane Martel?
Upon hearing Zane Martel's name, many people looked down on him.
Zane Martel who? Fine, he did enter the final round. However, he did so by qualifying automatically. How strong can he be?
That's right. In my opinion, the reason why Zane Martel was able to charge all the way through to the final stage was definitely because of his good luck. I don't deny that you need luck, but luck is not enough.
Believe it or not, when the 3 of them meet, Zane Martel will definitely be tackled to the ground and straightened up by Dante Kane and Paulson Colt. If I were the 2 of them, I wouldn't show any mercy.
The yellow-robed elder, who had pretended to have an upset stomach earlier, returned.
Hey, why are you back? Didn't you say that your stomach hurts?
It's fine now. This is the final round. Of course, I can't miss such an exciting one. It's definitely going to be great.
The discussion of the people outside the arena was within Zane Martel's earshot, but he appeared very calm. No matter what others said, it wouldn't affect him. Soon, half an hour had passed. Mr. Busher came to the center of the ring and announced,
Next is the final round of the duel. The three of you will go on stage and engage in a melee. Defeating the other two will qualify you as the Dragon Envoy of Newland.
Hearing Mr. Busher's announcement of the final selection rules, the spectators around him took a deep breath and began to worry about Zane Martell. Dante Kane and Paulson Colt harbored a grudge against Zane Martell. Needless to say, they would come after him before anyone else. Only after dealing with Zane Martell could the two strongest contenders have a chance of winning.
Zane Martell, let's see how you'll escape this time. Do you hear me? A melee is a melee. No more fluke on your side this time. I'm going to rub you against the ground real bad to avenge the mother vermin of my Guna spirit-eating insect.
Paulson Colt laughed out loud. The three of them stood in a triangle in the arena.
Zane Martell is mine, Paulson Colt. Give him to me. I will fight with you after I finish him off.
Huh? On what grounds? I have made it clear that I will personally deal with Zane Martell.
Don't even think about it.
Hostility permeated the atmosphere as Paulson Colt and Dante Kane engaged in a blazing row, as if a big battle would break out at any time. Zane Martell stood aside, observing everything.
Hey, are you not going to take me seriously?
Never have and never will.
You must leave Zane Martell to me. This is not up for debate. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude.
A cold aura emanated from Dante Kane's body. A thin layer of frost formed in the air and the ground around his body. Dante Kane was getting serious.
Humph! You think you're the only one who knows how to be rude?
Paulson Colt also became serious, and a strong and horrible willpower was released.
Zane Martell, prepare yourself.
Zane Martell sighed. He had no choice but to speak.
Forget it. I don't want to fight with you one by one. Come at me together.
The two of them were suddenly stunned and glared at Zane Martell as if they had misheard him.
Come at you together? Ha! Who do you think you are? Do you still need the strength of the two of us to deal with you?
Zane Martell's bravado got under Paulson Colt's skin.
Who do you take me for?
Enough, Paulson Colt. Let's finish this.
Both Paulson Colt and Dante Kane were the most highly anticipated candidates for the Dragon Envoy of Newland, as if they had the need to fight against Zane Martell together. If this was not an insult to them, they didn't know what was.
Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against either of you. Not to put too fine a point on it, but you're both just two pieces of trash to me.
Zane Martell ended his brusque statement with a sigh. The audience sucked in a breath of cold air. They had never imagined that Zane Martell would willingly put himself in such an invidious position.
He's gone mad. He's really asking for it.
But does he have such strength to back up his bluster?
Unable to bear it any longer, Dante Kane stomped his feet on the arena as he charged straight at Zane Martell.
How dare you? In all my years of conquest, you are the first person who dares to take that tone with me. Go to hell.
Dante Kane's divine bone celestial body activated. A ball of dark green smoke condensed above his head, rapidly transforming into two thick skeletal hands holding an iron chain with a cage attached.
Burn in hell.
The skeletal hands swung the iron cage, forming a round plate that hurtled towards Zane Martell with immense force. The wind roared as the cage flew through the air. Paulson Colt frowned, feeling Dante Kane was letting Zane Martell off too lightly. He expected Zane Martell to be defeated in one strike. However, Zane Martell surprised them all by not retreating, but advancing. He clenched his fist, muscles and blood vessels visibly energizing as if boiling with power. Zane Martell's fist met the flying cage head-on with a deafening bang. Smoke and dust filled the arena as the cage crumpled into a broken piece of iron, rebounding towards Dante Kane.
What?
Dante Kane was astonished. He hadn't anticipated his attack being neutralized so effortlessly. With a wave of Zane Martell's hand, the deformed iron cage turned back into green smoke and passed through Dante Kane. Not only Dante Kane, but Paulson Colt, Mr. Busher, and the leading elders in the stands were all wide-eyed in astonishment. Previously, they had underestimated Zane Martell, thinking he relied solely on luck to reach this stage. Now it was clear Zane Martell possessed formidable strength.
His power, it's beyond what we expected.
Humph, You only know how to use brute force, don't you? Zane Martel, I will beat you into a fool this time around. Give it up.
Behind Dante Kane, Paulson Colt blurred as his figure seemed to meld into the void. A massive surge of willpower emanated from him, enveloping the entire arena. Even those shielded by the array felt suffocated by the oppressive force of his will.
Is this the strength of this year's genius? How terrifying.
The immense willpower condensed rapidly, forming a palm-sized transparent blade that sliced through the air with a piercing sound. The blade was so dense that it wrapped Zane Martel tightly, giving him no chance to escape. There seemed to be no way to break Paulson Colt's formidable willpower. In the past, Zane Martel might have found this kind of attack troublesome, even avoiding direct confrontation. But now, a slight smile played on his lips. From his back, Zane Martel retrieved a stick-shaped object wrapped in black-blue cloth. Unveiling it revealed a bone that resembled white jade, a semi-dragon finger bone obtained from the South Sea Dragon Meridian.
Ha, Paulson Colt, do you think your current willpower can affect me?
Zane Martel gripped the dragon's finger bone firmly and swung it towards the surrounding blades of willpower. Strangely, 2 meters away from Zane Martel, the willpower blades, which seemed invincible, encountered an inexplicable force. They crashed as if into an unyielding wall, fracturing apart.
What? How could my attack be blocked by him?
Paulson Colt materialized not far from Zane Martel, his face betraying astonishment and disbelief. Just 2 months ago, a spiritual blade had nearly taken Zane Martel's life through his willpower defenses. Now, Zane Martel had found a way to neutralize Paulson Colt's willpower attack. Paulson Colt's gaze shifted to the stick-shaped object in Zane Martel's hand, a white jade-like semi-dragon finger bone emitting a faint, familiar aura.
Dragon Bone. This is the Dragon Bone. Zane Martel, you madman. Using a Dragon Bone as a weapon? Are you out of your mind?
Paulson Colt finally recognized the object, the semi-dragon finger bone.
What? That's the Dragon Bone?
Goodness gracious, he's actually using such a precious treasure as a weapon.
Unbelievable, he's disrespecting a heavenly treasure like that.
Even Mr. Busher's expression twitched with disbelief and anger at the spectacle unfolding before him. Zane Martel was the first person ever known to use a dragon bone in such a manner. Most would cherish and protect such a rare and powerful artifact, but Zane Martel was boldly wielding it in battle. Zane Martel knew the Dragon Bone's resilience well. Even after devouring and refining the Ghost King Dragon Ape, it remained pristine. Moreover, the bone bore mysterious symbols that rendered Zane Martel immune to willpower probing, a perfect weapon against Paulson Colt's formidable abilities.
Paulson Colt, you've always coveted this Dragon Bone of mine, haven't you? Come and take it if you dare.
Zane Martel waved the Dragon Bone provocatively, deliberately taunting Paulson Colt. Paulson Colt realized it was a deliberate provocation, but it did little to quell his rage. Growling furiously, he clenched his fists tightly.
Zane Martel. Zane Martel. Hand over the Dragon Bone. Venomous, mind-devouring blade.
Paulson Colt unleashed a torrent of willpower from between his eyebrows. The potent energy condensed into a purple crescent blade, 4 to 5 meters long. Like streaks of purple lightning, the blade surged towards Zane Martel from all directions with deadly intent.